After cycling for 100 days across the remote north of Alaska and Canada, I had arrived to Wells Gray Provincial Park. Fall was setting in, so I knew it was time to head south and towards the coast where temperatures should be much more moderate. My next target was to reach Vancouver, but to get there, I would have to traverse the desert-like Thompson Valley and climb up over the coast mountains via the Sea to Sky bikepacking route. Hi, I'm Benjamin, and this is what I found on the road to Vancouver. All right, looking like 122K to Kamloops. Should be about a 2 days ride. It's gonna be really interesting because up in Wells Gray, I felt like I was trying to outrun the winter. Like the winter was coming, it was cold, it was clearly fall, the trees were changing. But from my understanding, Kamloops is part of a desert. And so it's actually gonna be really hot tomorrow. The sun's out now, it's beautiful. My first destination after leaving Wells Gray was the Fish Trap Creek campground that had been recommended to me. It's a bit off the main road, giving some reprieve from the busy highways. It might be really steep, but at least we're mostly in the shade here. There's been a couple sunny spots, but mostly in the shade, so it's a hot one today. Very nice to have this shade. This is looking like the top. We finally did it. Downhill for a little bit, then we're gonna set up camp. Oh my gosh, this was tough. Whew. Well, this climb was pretty insane, but we made it up here. This place is amazing. It's so peaceful right now. I think I'm the only one here. I'm the only one I see. It's a huge open area, plenty of flat spaces to pitch the tent. This is gonna be a good one. I don't have that much water, so I just have to find a creek. If I can't find a creek, I can't stay here, but I think there's one just up there. So I'm gonna filter some water, get everything set up, and then just chill for the night. This place is pretty amazing. This was a super cool little campsite I found up in these mountains here. Really enjoyed it. I was the only one here last night. It was super quiet and just perfect. I mean, has everything you need. Huge, big space, no road noise whatsoever because the road is so far away. Such a cool place. There's a little ferry down here to cross the river. That's pretty cool. Coming into Kamloops now, and everything is starting to look really brown and dry. So crazy how much different it is than just 2 days ago when I was in Clearwater, which is technically a temperate rainforest up there. And now I believe this is technically a desert, so it's been such a rapid change, but really cool to watch it. With a population of about 100,000, Kamloops was the biggest city that I had been to on the adventure so far. Fortunately, I was able to find some nice bike paths to bypass most of the busy traffic. The first sign for Vancouver. This is it, the final boss of a climb. Then we're at our camp spot. It's gonna be about 150 meters climbing. Let's do it, it's getting late. What a view to be cooking from. The signs say no camping here, but I think we're gonna just find a hidden spot and camp anyways because this is just unbelievable. And also, it's getting dark and I'm tired. I can't ride anymore. So we're just gonna set up here. I bet, like, you know what? I bet if we come down here. Yeah, you know what? What if we came down here? Just start setting up late. We might be able to fit the tent like there. In here somewhere? Maybe? Maybe over here? Who knows? This is crazy though. The next day had rain in the forecast. I hoped that by leaving early in the morning I could avoid the worst of it. It's looking a bit gnarly up here. Hoping this doesn't start pouring.
Reflections of the clouds above, the sound of rain along the pond. The grass that grows beneath my feet, I close my eyes, the hum of
It's rain gear time. I don't know, maybe it's gonna clear out in like 5 seconds because I put the rain gear on, but gotta do what you gotta do. We got some distance to cover. We still got like 50K to go, lots of climbing to go. We need to get there. Let's get on the road. This is brutal, dude. The headwind, the rain, it's cold, holy shit. But you know what? We're doing it. The rain can't stop us. Let's go. This is like the last main road in all of freaking Canada. Holy shit. We're doing it. 99 north, let's go. Excuse me, 99 south. I'm not going north. Heck no. We gotta get out of here. This is it. 99 south. I'm not gonna jinx it, but I think the rain is over. Looking a lot clearer up ahead, but it's still a lot of climbing to go. Not too much in the distance department, so it's not too bad. I see blue sky. Holy shit. Man, I just had an awesome night last night. Didn't really film that much because my friend Forrest, who I actually met cycling in New Zealand, met up with me to camp for the night and just was my support vehicle for the night. It was pretty amazing. Brought burritos, delicious burritos, dude. And just kind of were catching up all night and in the morning too, just chatting. So didn't bother filming anything. We're back on the road now, heading towards Lillooet, which is supposedly one of the hottest areas of Canada. But we're late enough in the fall now that it's not hot today at all. I've got my jacket on this morning. It should be pretty cool. Super happy with last night. Good food, good friends, good chatting. Such a good time. Energizes me to get right back on the road today. Let's do it. .9% descent. We're getting out of the mountains. Let's go. My friend Forrest had recommended this road as the scenic route to Vancouver, and the views did not disappoint. This place is incredible. It feels like I'm in like southern Utah instead of Canada. I had no idea that Canada looks like this. This is just unbelievable. We're leaving Lillooet now. Not ideal situations. One, the rain gear is back on. I think it's gonna just pass over, but you never know, so I wanted to be ready. Two, we have a massive, massive fucking mountain we're about to climb. Like this mountain, we're about to climb up like 1,200 meters maybe. It's gonna be insane, but we're gonna do it in 2 days. And finally, I wanted to grab a couple snacks in town, but apparently the grocery store is up in the town, and by up in the town I mean you gotta climb a mountain to get to the town itself. So I decided, screw that, we're just gonna go with whatever we have. Just gotta make it to Pemberton tomorrow. Should be beautiful camping, but we're wet and hoping it doesn't stay that way. So the campsite I'm planning to go to is only 17.5 kilometers away, just over 10 miles. But look at this, these are the climbs we have coming up. 7 kilometers long, going up 508 meters. 3.87 kilometers long, going up 255. We gotta go up almost a whole K.
When an ecstasy came over me, and all that I could do was laugh.
Really, it's been not too bad, just pushing. It gets steep, but the views are pretty good. The desert landscapes are starting to turn back into forest, so it's actually really beautiful up here. Biggest part of the climb completed. We gotta go pretty far down now, about probably 300 meters, and then come right back up. Then after that, we're finally done. This is a tough one, but we're gonna get it finished. After completing the steepest section of the mountain, I found a nice campsite to rest the legs for the final push the following day. Had a really nice campground back here last night. Very quiet. It's kind of a reminder that winter is coming and that we're in the off season for sure now, because all the reviews online said that this place is crowded and you got to get here early to get the right spots. I got here at like 5 p.m. and I was the only one here. Apparently somebody comes around to collect money, but they haven't done it yet and they don't do it in the off season. So if we're lucky, fingers crossed, we don't have to pay. Please, please, please. So this is the agenda for today. We've got a slow grind up to the top of the pass and then we just fly down. Success. We got out without paying. Let's go. No, I think it's actually the off season. I stuck around for quite a while. Took my time this morning and then still nobody showed up to collect the money. Didn't see anyone collecting money last night, so we're good. Should just be off season, free prices. Gonna finish this big climb today. And then we're gonna have probably the most insane downhill we've ever done in our lives. So I'm really looking forward to that. But first, gotta climb up about another 800 meters. Let's do it. These mountains at higher elevations got a coating of snow last night. Oh, this is beautiful. And just like that, the biggest part of the climb is complete. We've still got a little bit to go, but right now we've got some nice views. We're gonna grab some snacks here and try to finish a little bit more of the climb, and then we're gonna have like a super downhill, so I'm really looking forward to that. This right here, that's the sign we want to see. Let's go. I'm gonna put the cameras away and just enjoy this. I'll see you guys at the bottom. Let's fucking go. And just like that, we're at the bottom. That was like 20 kilometers long and like, oh my gosh, it was so fast. It was like 13-15% the whole way down. It was amazing. Coming into town in about 17K. Gonna do a little grocery restock and then find somewhere to set up a camp. I was gonna be cutting it close on time anyways to this campsite I was trying to get to. And then I just got this into my tube. So we're gonna have to fix a flat real quick. For once in this trip, it's finally the front tire, so this is gonna be a little bit easier. After fixing my flat, I made it to the town of Pemberton just before sunset. Good morning from Pemberton. Last night I was just at a grocery store and someone saw me there with my bike and just offered me a bed and a hot shower, so that was amazing. He also suggested this mountain bikepacking route called the Sea to Sky Trail that we're gonna take. So we're gonna get a little bit off the main roads and we're gonna kind of get onto these back roads. Should be pretty beautiful. It sounds amazing from what I've seen about it. It's about 100 kilometers, so not super long. Pretty good amount of climbing. It's gonna get pretty steep at sections, but I think it's gonna be worth it. Let's check out what this Sea to Sky is all about. Getting off of the main road and onto the cycle trails was so nice. No longer did I have to deal with loud cars passing by too closely. Whoa. Some sections were a bit steep for a bike as heavy as mine, but I didn't mind the slow progress to enjoy these trails. Just had a brutal climb to get out of that forest, but now the view is incredible over here. We are almost to the top of the Sea to Sky Trail, and then it's gonna be mostly downhill, basically all the way down to the US into Washington State. Kind of looking forward to that because the climbing of the past few days has been insane. And today it's not been like that brutal, but the percent grades have been insane. So looking forward to getting some downhill in for sure. All right, we've done it. We're at the top. So it's time for the gummy worm twin snakes. You get 2 little flavors in there, so I don't know if they're different flavors, but we got a purple and an orange. These are pretty good. I'm gonna eat this bag and then I'm just gonna turn off the camera. After descending from the trail high point, I found myself in the town of Whistler and onto larger public bike paths. Dude, this town is crazy. There's just so many people out and about. I've never seen so many people out in one little town in my whole life. Bikers, skaters, walkers, swimmers, literally everything you could think of. And just getting through the town is all on these bike paths, and sometimes they're just so crowded. I'm just really trying to get out of here. I want to get somewhere a little bit less crowded tonight. Just outside of the town is the remains of the Whistler train wreck. This train derailed in 1956 and was moved here to get it out of the way as quickly as possible and to get regular trains running again. They have sat here ever since and have become a tourist attraction. This site sits right along the Sea to Sky Trail. Well, this looks like home for the night. We're gonna set up the tent and get some food and maybe get a fire going tonight. There's a lot of wood lying around, so I think we can do it. But I'm very hungry, so let's eat first. Good morning. This is probably the coldest morning I've had in a good long time. I've got my winter jacket on, like my down jacket, and then I've got this windbreaker on top of it. It's gonna be a lot of downhill today, so downhill is a lot colder than the uphill. So it's even though it's cold, it's gonna feel even colder. Oh geez, I'm gonna hit some nasty bumps here, sorry about that. But yeah, we're gonna try to, it's all downhill basically. I did 1,200 meters of climbing yesterday, and this course only has like 240 meters more. And I only did half the distance yesterday, but I did, what would that be, like 85% of the climbing almost? So yeah, we're gonna be pretty chilling, I think. Pretty happy about that. Let's see what else there is on this path. Supposedly the end is gonna be gorgeous, and I'm super excited to see what this town is all about. Well, I've never stood on top of a bungee jumping platform before, but this is the Whistler bungee. This is actually pretty terrifying. The bike trail comes over this bridge right where the bungee jumping happens. That's not something you do every day on a bike trail, so that's pretty cool. With all of the climbing behind me, the rest of the Sea to Sky Trail was mostly flowy downhill single track. Kind of interesting that the trail just comes to a railroad crossing like this, but there's no crosswalk or anything. You just gotta lift your bike over the tracks. this is basically it. It's basically all downhill from here into Squamish. This is the trail down here. I'm not sure if you can really see it, but it's pretty steep. It looks amazing. The views here are absolutely incredible. This trail was so worth it. So glad I did it. So apparently this behind me is the trail. Yeah, that wall is, that's the trail. I have to get the bike over the wall. I don't know why they put that there. I have no idea, but the trail is behind that wall. The only way is to go over it. So we're gonna have to lift the whole bike over there. I think we're gonna take some of the stuff off and then lift it piece by piece. I don't know, this is kind of obnoxious. Fortunately, a family of hikers were coming up the other way as soon as I was trying to lift my bike over the wall, and they helped me out. After descending down the other side, I soon arrived into the town of Squamish, the official end of the Sea to Sky Trail. After riding that Sea to Summit trail, riding this highway kinda sucks. And by kinda, I mean very sucks. Once I get down to Horseshoe Bay, I should be able to start taking some back roads, but man, I miss the north already with the open back roads where you don't see anybody for hours. From Squamish to Vancouver, there is only one road, and it's a main highway. While not the most pleasant ride, at least the views were spectacular. So I wanted to stay at this campground last night, but it turns out this is a long weekend in Canada, and I didn't know that. And the campground was completely sold out. They had a staff guy there that was checking everything and was super strict about it, so there was no chance I was gonna be able to stay. So I kept going down the road a little bit. It started getting dark, and I found this nice little cove to set up my tent in. Behind me here, there's some trees, but the view out here is incredible. Let me finish packing this up. I'm gonna go get some breakfast and just show you this amazing view. These are the breakfast views. All right, this is it, big city day. Biggest city we've rode through so far was probably Prince George at like just under 100K. Now we're going straight into Vancouver. Should be about 2.5 million people. It's gonna be a giant city. It's gonna be crazy. I don't know what's gonna happen. After over 3 months of cycling from the top of Alaska, I made it to Vancouver. I had become so used to the remote roads of Alaska and Canada that the city came with a feeling of culture shock, making me reflect on the journey so far. People often ask me if I ever felt lonely in the remote north, where days pass by without seeing anyone. But I've come to realize that that remoteness brings people together in ways that a bustling city never could. While riding through Vancouver's busy streets, I was reminded of all the people that I had met along the way, and how grateful I am to have had the opportunity to have had the experiences that I did. From here, the plan is to ride south along the Pacific Coast Highway through California. But that's a story for next time. Special thanks to Anna Suarez, Dara, F. Clark, Jack Doherty, Ken Coulter, Reed Ploss, and Vegan Van Voyage for supporting on Patreon. If you like the content and would like to give some extra support to the channel, get early access to videos, and to help keep the adventure alive, the link is in the video description. Thanks for watching.